G'day everyone, my name is Tom Bolch. Most of you probably know me as Prime Trade, and I'm going to tell you today that this YouTube special, why country footy is. This year I did something a little bit different. I did a country football and community tour, so I went around to play 12 different leagues, 12 different teams, and in 3 different countries. So we played in Australia, New York, so in the USA, and then London, so the United Kingdom. So I did a lot of travel this year, and I traveled to a lot of different clubs, and some clubs were thriving financially and thriving, with volunteers and players, while other clubs are really struggling with players, definitely financial issues. I'm going to get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty of why they're struggling, what the issues are, what the change has been, and why they used to be so successful 100 years ago, and now they really struggle to field a team on 2 teams. And then we're also going to try and get into a few resolutions that we can do all together to help country and community football.
One sport and a big fan of my boy Prime. Appreciate you for coming out.
Mega one!
Yeah!
So this year I learned so much about country football. I learned so much about community football, and I'm probably one of the most qualified people to talk about these things because I've actually gone and seen it with my own eyes. Different leagues, different places. We played in 5 or 6 different states this year, and I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about this. I've seen it with my own eyes, and there are a few reasons that these football clubs are really struggling. Now I'm going to get into the first big reason. These are very specific to country football clubs. So what happened with country football, especially 100 years ago, we had a lot of people that would come back from the war, and then they get a lot of these farms, they get a lot of these lands that then they go and live with their families. And then these country towns, they might have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people to choose from. And that's why their football club was thriving and it was performing really well hundreds of years ago. But especially in the country, which I'm just specifying on right now, what has happened, a lot of the population of these country towns, it used to be 5,000 and now 300. So you can see the drop in the amount of people right there. So they used to be going from 5,000 fit, young, healthy humans, men to play football. Obviously women didn't play football back then. So just focusing on men's football really for now. And then, nowadays they've only got 300 people to choose from. So they either have to recruit from Melbourne or Sydney, one of the bigger towns or one of the bigger cities. A lot of country football clubs fold, and that's a reason I thought that we could kind of go out and help it and change that. But unfortunately, I think that everything does come to its natural end. And unfortunately, with some of these clubs, there just isn't enough players. Another issue that a lot of these country football clubs are having is financial. So they just don't have enough money. And we want the AFL to support them, but at the end of the day, the AFL cannot support, these country football clubs because there are so many different clubs around Australia that I've really started to realise this year. So like I said, country football there are so many issues there, but how can we help country footy? What can we do to make it better? How can we help these issues? Look, we're not going to repopulate the towns. No one has the power to do that. And like I said, some of these country football clubs will meet their natural end, unfortunately. But how can we help? I truly believe that social media can be the answer to this. So I guess you ask why and how can social media help these country football clubs? Well, you look at sponsors, and that's a big issue that a lot of these country football clubs have. They can't get sponsors because sponsors don't believe that enough people are going to the games, seeing these people play, and if they're going to pay, let's say 15 grand to put their brand or their logo on the back of a jumper, if you're only getting 100 or 200 people to each of your games, you're not going to get enough people to see that brand and that logo. So what they're paying for, it doesn't really get the ROI, or they're not getting the eyes on the promotion that they really need. What really matters is more people going to the footy. It's crazy how much just a small ticketing admission, when you pay your general admission to walk through the door and it's $20 or $15 or $10, and then you go behind the canteen and you jump on the bar, you have a few beers. At the end of the day, you might spend $100. And for a small country football club, that could be the difference for them for the year, being in the red or being in the green at the end of the day. So, I think that the most important thing is for anyone watching this, go and support country football. The AFL, mate, they get plenty of people. People will never stop going to the AFL. So, keep going to your AFL games. But if you get a chance on a Saturday or a Sunday to go to your local football club, have a really good day of it, have a beer, have a soft drink, have a burger or a dim sim roll, whatever it might be at the local canteen, and pay the general admission, then you're doing more than you know to give back to the community.